everybody. Hello? Hi, everyone. Up here. Up. There you go. Hi. Well, you caught me live in the Rumpus Room. I'm just running a little behind. I was just finishing up decorating the tree and enjoying a little Tom and Jerry before I head over to the theater. But my goodness, we are going to have such a great night. I want to thank everyone for coming and supporting all the great artists that you're going to meet during the Doris Dear Christmas special as we salute Christmas through the decades. Oh, it's going to be a great night full of holiday cheer. And to start us off, please put your hands together as we welcome Blake Allen and his Holiday Orchestra as they salute the early 1900s with the overture to Babes in Toyland. Take it away, Blake!
Okay, everyone, she's here. Please welcome Doris Dear.
Children's eyes of sweet expectations, wondering what each present will hold, lying in their beds of old Christmas Eves of old.
It used to be that all the family would gather for this Christmas night. Used to be the casual feeling shared together, knowing Christmas was here one night a year.
Hi, everyone! Welcome to the Doris Dear 2022 Christmas special. How I miss that old-fashioned Christmas. Carols being sung by the tree.
Call me sentimental, don't mind if you do. I send an old-fashioned Christmas to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we celebrate Christmas through the ages. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Well, here we go. Yeah, cheers. You can clap. I know, it was sort of a soft end, but here, cheers, everybody. I'm enjoying my cocktail tonight. As you know, I often enjoy a cocktail during my show. Because that's how you start a good evening off. Are you ready? Here we go. So that, ladies and gentlemen, first a little a little homework because I introduced the Blake Allen Holiday Orchestra. But just to let you know, Blake Allen's not even here. Nope. It was one of those new things we live with, right? Some people don't feel well and they can't make a show, but we have an amazing person here, Grammy nominated. Yeah, I would clap for that, darling. Your hands are going to be sore by the end of the night, I guarantee. So, introduce yourself and the entire band while we're talking.
Hi, everyone, and my name is Chris Kelzer. I'm the pianist for tonight.
And a Grammy-nominated person.
Yes, thank you. We're so glad to be here tonight. Let me introduce on the drums, Robert Guilford.
He's my Harry Potter. Isn't he adorable? Look at how cute he is. Hi.
Yes, he is. And on violin, Camille Enderlin.
I have a violin. I love that.
And on all the reeds, Mike Raposa.
Mike. All the way from Radio City Music Hall. He plays in the Christmas Spectacular. Yes, isn't he adorable? He got married during COVID. Isn't that cute? Yes, I would clap for that. And you're still married, right? Yes, darling. And I don't know, oh wait, I have to get up. I'm moving around a lot tonight. If I have to get up because behind me, these are my dears, ladies and gentlemen. They're giving us backups, and don't worry, wait till you see their number later in the show, but for now, they're in the darkness. Yeah. We love them back there. Now, we started off with the 1900s, and that was Victor Herbert's Babes in Toyland, right? Yeah, that was Babes in Toyland, and, it's interesting, during that time, that show played on Broadway, was very successful, and then it toured the country for quite a long time. It was a huge hit, and, my sister would call me, my sister Nancy, because tonight is all about family, right? It's about all my family, including my holiday family, which is you, so I thank you for that, yeah. And so my sister Nancy, she would call me every Thanksgiving, and she'd say, "Are you watching?" And I knew what that meant. She meant, am I watching the Laurel and Hardy 1934 version of that operetta, which they called March of the Wooden Soldiers. And she would watch it every Thanksgiving. We would hang on the phone and watch it together. And, well, it was always fun. But, back then we had the dial. You had to actually dial a number. And you were charged by, the minute. My mother would be like, really? You were on for an hour? Do you know how much that costs? Oh, Staten Island. So, of course, I'm a Disney person, so Disney in 1961 did their version. Thank you. Who are you out there, darling? A Disney person, yes, a Disney folks here. So 1961, they did Babes in Toyland with Annette Funicello. You have to watch it. It's the most bizarre movie ever. She's like a China doll. She's just spinning around and looking through the air like anything Walt says. And but it's a great, you have to watch the opening number that they played. They sing about lemonade a lot. They drink lemonade at a wedding. It was Disney, what can I say? But it was the 1800s. Now, 1 in 5 people had a Christmas tree. Yeah, it was kind of the start of the whole Christmas tree thing. And of course, they loved to cover their Christmas trees in tinsel. Now, back then, and including up into the 70s, tinsel was made from lead. And then in the 70s, they thought, maybe not so good for pets and children. Taffy loved her tinsel. Now, Taffy was my mother, by the way. Taffy was my mom, and Duke was my father, and we grew up in Staten Island. So, the stories write themselves when you got those kind of names. Let's get real. So the tinsel, she would do it 1 strand at a time on the tree, and the tree would be beautiful. My sister Nancy and I, we'd get under the tree, and we would look up through the tinsel and the lights. Remember those big C7s, I think? They were C4s or C7s, and all of that. It was just so magical. And, the holidays are still magical. And now, Taffy and Duke and Nancy are no longer with us, unfortunately, but I know they're in the room. I know they're here with us tonight and watching and enjoying the holidays. And I'm here because of what they gave me in life. They made my heart and they made my soul. And every time I'm on stage, I celebrate them. And please celebrate the holidays with them with me. Now, if you've been to my shows, you know I like an old magazine. Taffy loved her magazines, especially Better Homes and Gardens, otherwise known as the Bible of the American Housewife. So I love, because it's a great way to look back in history. And here, this is the Ladies' Home Journal from Christmas 1903. This is marvelous. And the cover here is mistletoe. And if you've ever been to Orlando, some Disney folks. If you've ever been to Orlando, there's huge amounts of mistletoe growing in those gigantic oak trees over at Lake Eola. And the thing was, we know you stand under mistletoe, you get a kiss or you make out. Or now you like kissing, I think.
I do.
Yeah. He's all yours, by the way. I don't. But yeah, if you want, that's whatever. I don't judge, darling. I don't judge. Anyway, so when they stood under, but the thing I did know is when they stood under the mistletoe back then, there were little white berries, and they would kiss and then take a white berry and throw it away because they're poisonous. Again, not so good for children and pets. A lot of poisonous things back then. But so in my house, though, we like to make sure there's plenty of berries because I want to make sure there's always kisses going around. So you can come over.
Yes, Doris.
Yes. I think I'm getting a kiss tonight. Now, we move into the 1910s, the next decade, and, well, music changes, because every decade it seems to change. And in the 1910s, well, there was something called Tin Pan Alley here in New York City. Does anyone know what that is or heard of it? One person. Absolutely. Oh, two people clapped. Well, Tin Pan Alley was where the Flower District is now. It was on, I think, 28th between Broadway, maybe 5th, Broadway and like 6th or 8th or something. Anyway, if you walk there now, there's a plaque in the sidewalk that no one even notices it. It's saluting Tin Pan Alley as a historic site. That's where all the music publishers were, and so much of the American Songbook came from Tin Pan Alley. Now, during the holidays, it was getting very busy. So they figured if we send groups of people out singing in the streets and selling sheet music, we can make some money. And those people can get a dram of whiskey and whatever else along the way. So that was how caroling started here in New York City. It became very, very popular. And Tin Pan Alley is fantastic, and they sold all the music through. It was like a penny to buy sheet music back then. But the music, it became very, what would we call it? Very, not hymnal. It was very hymn-based during this decade. And one of the most published hymns of all time was during this decade, and I know you're going to recognize it. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. No? Was it? I had to have reeds here tonight, right? Thank you, Mikey. You never sounded so sexy back there. It's just nice. Oh, Mike Raposo, you got married on me. All right, well, that was the 1910s. Of course, it was Joy to the World, the most published hymn of all time. 1920s, we moved right along. Well, the 1920s, again, the music really changed. And, of course, it was after the war, and people wanted to return to an old-fashioned sort of Christmas. It seems like every year we want to return to an old-fashioned sort of Christmas. But an illustrator, a very famous illustrator, created a cover for the Saturday Evening Post. It really changed how people viewed history, and especially Taffy, my mother. And that was the cover of the Saturday Evening Post, December 3rd, 1921, by the one and only Norman Rockwell. Now, we've all seen this. I mean, this is a very famous cover. He's very cherubic cheeks and his red scarf. But the big thing is that Norman Rockwell decided to paint a holly sprig on his lapel. And holly wasn't really around much. Well, if you're from Jersey, that used to be all holly farms. You folks in Jersey plowed it right down, built a few homes. And I lived in Portland, Oregon, and there's still acres and acres of holly farms. And Taffy used to order big boxes of holly, and she would make wreaths and swags for the Rumpus Room, and she would have to wear like steel gloves because it was so sharp. And as kids, we're playing tag, running into holly, and having to go to the hospital for being like our arms cut up and the holly sticking out of our backs. I was like, my God, she's like, but it's pretty. It means love. Well, that's tough love, if ever I had. That's the midnight show, though, darling. Yeah, it's the midnight show. But one of the big things in pop culture, radios. Everybody got a radio, which meant that music came to the everyday person. And we went from being sort of hymns into real opera. And opera became huge. And we have someone special in the Rumpus Room tonight that we'll wait till you hear her. Please welcome Emily Kate Gentile. Put your hands together. Come on. Here she comes. Hi. Emily Kate. Hello, my darling. Ooh, sparkly and red and beautiful. Hi.
Hi, Doris.
Did I say your name right?
You did, yes, thank you.
I always, I was, first time I met her, I said Gentile. She goes, no. But so how are you?
Very well. Very excited to be here tonight.
Yeah, oh my God. Well,
Feeling the spirit.
So tell me, do you have a great holiday memory or something special?
Oh gosh, well when I think about the holidays, I can't help but think about how did I see it when I was maybe about 5 years old and coming home from Catholic school for Christmas break and asking, Mom, what's a virgin? And, she gives me some vague response of, well, honey, it's the reason for the season, and goes on. So, reason for the season, that naturally makes me ask, well, is Santa Claus a virgin, too? But.
Well, I don't know if he's a virgin, but although
It's a valid
no wonder
question.
Mrs. Claus served him so much food. Maybe that's the only thing he could
He
get.
works one day a year.
He works
What else?
one day a year.
I don't know.
Well, darling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please wait till you hear this amazing soprano. Please put your hands together, saluting the 1920 singing Ding Dong Merrily on High, Emily Kate Gentile.
Ding dong merrily on high, in heaven the bells are ringing. Ding dong verily the sky is riven with angels singing. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. In so here below, let steeple bells be swung, and E-O, by priest and people sung. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Pray you dutifully prime, ye matin chime, ye ringers. May you dutifully rhyme, you eve-time song, ye singers. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis.
Emily Kate Gentile! Wow, thank you. Holy moly. That's how you sing. They didn't teach me that at Monsignor Farrell, that's for sure. Cheers, everybody. That's really good. But I need more. Hold on. Oh, Mary Poppins. There you go. That's nice. I'll be good in about an hour. Keep having your drinks because the more you drink, the more real I look. Yeah. All right, let's get in the 1930s. Woo, the 1930s. Now, the 1930s, now, if we look at a magazine from back then, here's American Home. This is December 1935. It looks kind of like every magazine you see at Christmas, right? But here's a big deal. In this magazine, an illustrator by the name of Haddon Sundblom created an illustration that totally changed how we looked at that man who delivers presents. He created this illustration. Before then, Santa was kind of a skinny, not so great guy. But he created this overweight man who drank a lot of soda, mostly Coca-Cola. And this changed our view of Santa. We still think of him as this very overweight, probably heart-diseased, beautiful Big bearded man, which is very in style now. You know, there's beards there. I'm surrounded by the beards. Gotta keep my legs crossed. And he's drinking a Coca-Cola and eating an entire turkey. And this poor child is like, Santa, no more Coca-Cola, please. But he changed how we view Santa. And oh, look, fries. Oh, I would love one, but I might burst my corset. But that was, yes, Coca-Cola Santa. Now, of course, the first Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center was put during this decade. So we, you know, this is a big deal, right? The workers put it up to celebrate the buildings. And, well, one of the biggest things, of course, and Mike Raposo, who is here, he took time off of the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular to play in my show, right? Yes, I know, Mikey, I know. Well, in this decade is when it started. And, you know, my mom Taffy used to take Nancy and I to go see it. We would, you know, we lived in Staten Island, so we'd get on the Staten Island Rapid Turtle. Yeah, you know, it's the fastest train in the 5 boroughs. You could kind of walk faster to the ferry, and you'd get to the ferry, you'd go across the Hudson, it would take about an hour, and they would crash into the other side, and you would leap off. Yeah. It's the truth, right? If you ever took it. I am 64, I remember. And then we'd go to the subway, and Taffy would take us up, my sister and I, Nancy and I, and we would watch, and you know, you would get all that programming. It was like the dueling organs and the nativity and the live animals and all that stuff. And she saved everything. So here is the Radio City Music Hall pictorial. Look at that cover. Isn't that amazing? But wait, now this one is from the 50s. I was not at this one, folks. This is from like 1954. But you got to see the cover. Look. That is the whitest chorus line you have ever seen. Look at that. There is only one shade of white up there. Just one. That's unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. But look at the Rockettes. Yes, they kept those kicks higher and wider than anyone else. That's how they were. They got hired. Yes, the good old Rockettes. Now, I also found when I was cleaning up her set, she had one of the programs. And this one is from December 29th, 1955, where you've got the grand organ, the nativity, joy bells, Christmas spirits, and, oh, this is frightening. Now tell me this doesn't sound frightening. Tinker Tot the Dancing Doll. I don't know about you, but that sounds absolutely frightening to me. I could just see this doll. Hi, Santa. Oh, my God. But you also got a movie, Kismet, and that starred Howard Keel and Ann Blythe. Yes, the Radio City Music Hall. How do you like it over there, Mikey? It's a blast. He's a man of many words back here. That's why we don't give him a microphone. Now, the number one song of this decade actually came from a movie. It came from a movie. On the Avenue. The music was by Irving Berlin, who wrote a kind of a somewhat successful Christmas song later on. And it was this one was sung by Dick Powell and Alice Faye. Does anyone know who that is? Probably not, no? Yeah, you should look it up. These are old-time movies. These are great stuff. And we have a special guest tonight, Aaron Lee Battle. Are you in the house, darling? Welcome, Aaron Lee Battle, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till you hear him sing. Oh, my gosh. We did a show last night, and it just blew, you know, I just want to say I'm so honored to have these amazing artists like this, who are also gorgeous, by the way. I mean, come on. Are you single, or you have somebody special in your life?
I'm single.
Oh. We can talk about that later.
And I'm not looking.
Yeah, darling. Anyway, so these artists come, and I'm so honored to have them on my stage, and they want to be in my shows and to grace, and they are just award-winning. Check them out. And by the way, on your table, there's a little card, and you can scan that QR code, and there's an online program with all of their artists' bios. It has their socials, so please connect. You know, it's all about the numbers, honey. So you can connect, and there's also a little story from me about the holidays. So go online and do that. So Aaron, tell me about the holidays with you. Tell me a holiday story.
Holidays. Well, actually, the Christmas isn't a great time for me. I don't like Christmas. Well, it's not I don't like it. My birthday's the 23rd.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Happy birthday, darling.
But anyway, I do like Christmas. I've always liked Christmas. I have 4 siblings, and my parents are gone, but I remember that we all used to sit around and sing together. My brothers, all 4, we had 4 boys, and we all could sing. But for some reason, puberty took their voices away. I guess they gave them all to me. So I kept singing, and they don't sing anymore, but that's what I remember of Christmas, sitting around and singing songs and eating and just being a family together.
Oh, well, it's all about family, right? It's all about family. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Aaron Lee Battle, and he's singing I've Got My Love to Keep Me Warm.
The snow is snowing, the wind is blowing, but I can weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm. I can't remember a worst December that arched those icicles for. What do I care if icicles fall? I've got my love to keep me warm. Off with my overcoat, off with my gloves. I need no overcoat. I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire. The flames get higher, so I don't weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm.
The Blake Allen Holiday Orchestra.
Off with my overcoat, off with my gloves. I don't need no overcoat. I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire. The flames go higher. So why should I weather the storm? What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me. I've got my love to keep me. I've got my love to keep me warm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Lee Battle! Fantastic. Thank you, my darling. Wow. That was so great. Now, I have to tell you a little story about Duke and Taffy and us. Like, you know, Aaron talked about how they stood around and they sang. So my dad was like such a man, but man, he loved Christmas. And Christmas Eve would come, and he would make us all stand in front of the tree, and he would go back in the bedroom, and he'd come out in a red, long, like sleep shirt with a cap, sort of like Night Before Christmas. Night Before Christmas. And he had this Christmas candle. He had a very big Christmas candle, by the way. Oh, dear. Oh. Anyway, he had this Christmas candle. He would light it, and we would stand in front of our tree. Now, our tree was in front of, we used to call it the picture window. You know, in a 1958 ranch, you had a picture window. And the tree was there. We would stand in front of the tree, the 4 of us, and he'd make us sing carols. And now I think about it, I think, what did those people like across the street look at us like, what the hell is going on in that DeForest house? The Dears are crazy right now. I don't know. He loved it though. We'd sing for like a half an hour, and it was so great. I grew up in a very crazy house. I don't know if you figured that out. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Here's to family and drinking. Oh, I love a good whiskey sour. Very good whiskey sour. Now, the 1940s happened. The 1940s were big Hollywood musicals. They were going crazy. Now, none of them made sense. I mean, they had like thousands of dancers on cakes, and there was hardly any story, but there was lots going on, and those girls kicking their legs up. No, by kicking really high, very, very high, darling. I think that's how they got their jobs in Hollywood back then. There was no, there was no code. Whatever they wanted to do went. But then there was one holiday movie that, one of my favorites. We used to watch it on the 4:30 movie. Remember on Channel 7? I think it was Channel 7. Does anyone remember the 4:30 movie? Yeah, two people. Okay, I'm going right around that history line. But and we would all gather around as a family. My mom and my sister and I would watch, and it starred Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby, and so it featured all of Irving Berlin's music. And he wrote a very famous Christmas song, I think we know, but he played White Christmas for Bing in like 1939, and Bing was like, that's not that great. It's not good. It's not going anywhere. Right? And he sang it on his radio show. He didn't like it. So then they made this movie called Holiday Inn. And it's such a great movie, except for the Lincoln part. I know, that's a little weird. But it's a great movie, and he sang White Christmas in that movie, and it won the Academy Award for Best Song. And it's the most recorded Christmas song of all time. I mean, I have all my music in Apple, and I must have, 300 or 400 versions of this song. Everybody sings it. Nobody sings it like Bing. So guess what? We're not going to sing it. No. No way. I'm not crooning on that tonight. No, I've already had too much to drink. But instead, we're going to treat you with the title song of Holiday Inn, which I know you'll recognize. Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the merry bells keep ringing. May your every wish come true. Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the calendar keep ringing. Happy holidays to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Dears. Here we go!
If you're burdened down with troubles, if your nerves are wearing thin, pack your load down the road and come to Holiday Inn.
If the traffic noise affects you like a squeaky violin, take your cares down the stairs and come to Holiday Inn.
If you can't find someone who would set your heart a whirl, take your car and motor to the home of Boy Meets Girl.
If you're laid up with a breakdown, throw away those vitamins.
Don't get worse.
Grab your nurse and come to Holiday Inn.
Happy holidays, happy holidays. When the merry bells are ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy holidays, happy holidays. May the calendar keep ringing. Happy holidays to you.
I tried to tap dance.
Oh, I hope you stretched today.
I think I threw my back out.
Honey, that was great.
I threw my back out. I should never.
Oh, lucky people.
I haven't tap danced since the Castle Forecourt in the 80s. Oh. I know there's a few of you out there who might understand that. Hi,
honey.
How are you?
We're so
Ladies and gentlemen,
happy to
these
be
are the
here.
Dears.
Hello.
So why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Eve Eaton.
And I am Wendy Russell.
And I am Karen Mack.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, Karen Mack. So tell me, guys, Christmas is a special time, right? Do you like Christmas?
is.
Of course. Oh, my
Yes.
God, of course.
Yeah, so do I. So I want one word from each of you that describes Christmas. And go.
Fruitcake.
Children.
Cookies.
Oh. Two food and a human. I love it. So, Wendy, I don't know. Wendy's the only one that cares about children, I suppose.
She has a candy house in the woods.
Oh, shit. Ooh. That's an oven I'm staying
It's
out
a dark
of.
holiday.
Well, I'm just going to say her dad did used to write Dark Shadows. Yes?
Yes,
Remember Dark
yes, he
Shadows?
did.
The soap opera with the cardboard walls. They would close the door and an entire window would fall out. Yeah, it was really good
We
stuff.
didn't write that.
I know, right? So now, during the 1950s, there was a lot of great music, lots of great music. But there was one girl group that, well, they became hugely famous, and I actually got to work with them in Vegas when I was working in Vegas. You know, I was a Vegas showgirl, darling. Yes, I worked at Jubilee. Oh, you should have seen me in a G-string. Oh, it was a sight. My mother and father came to see me, and they were sitting right up front, and I used to come out of the ceiling in a G-string, and I remember thinking, I looked down, and my dad was like this. Jesus Christ. And my mother, that's my baby! Oh my God, it was a sight to behold. It was darling, yes. It's all true, I never lie. Anyway, it was the one and only McGuire sisters, and I actually worked with the McGuire sisters out, and the one that was still alive. And when in Vegas, they were big, they were, married. And yeah, and they had a huge hit, and you're gonna sing it to us tonight, aren't you?
We are.
So, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Dears, representing the 1950s with the Christmas Alphabet.
CHRISTMAS. C is for the candy trimmed around the Christmas tree. H is for the happiness with all the family. R is for the reindeer prancing by the window pane. I is for the icing on the cake as sweet as sugar cane. S is for the stocking on the chimney wall. T is for the toys beneath the tree so tall. M is for the mistletoe where everyone is kissed. A is for the angels who make up the Christmas list. S is for old Santa who makes every kid his pet. Be good and you'll do everything on your Christmas alphabet.
Okay, let's all agree that this is a terrible song. It's a terrible, terrible song. In fact, it's actually two terrible songs because if you listen closely, it's really skidamarinka-dinka-dink, skidamarinka-dink. It is. They're the same song. And at the end, it's a little bit of Adelaide's Lament, but that's a good song. It's okay that it's a terrible song because the holidays, you're allowed to love terrible things. And that's kind of the thing.
Fruitcake.
And it was yes. Everybody's fruitcake's funny because people are right. Nobody's like iffy on fruitcake. You either like it or you hate it.
I love fruitcake.
I love fruitcake too. Not everybody does. And not everybody loves this song, but it was a huge, huge hit for the McGuire sisters. And in the UK, it actually went to #1, and it was there for 7 weeks. 7 weeks of the Christmas alphabet. Now, some of you out here I know are noticing, you're like, wait a second, we've seen them before, and there's usually 4 of them. And let me tell you, it's not any better with 4. It's the same thing, it's the same bad song just sung by 4 people. But we are usually 4, and our beloved Rachel Hanser, who's the 4th of those girls, when we are in our quartet I don't know what you call us then.
We sing.
Configuration. We sing. And she's not with us tonight. She can't be with us, but let's all say Happy Hanukkah to Rachel. Happy Hanukkah, Rachel. And Rachel texted us about 82 times today to make sure that we reminded all of you that Christmas is not the only holiday that is celebrated this time of year. And she wrote a little something for us to present. HANUKKAH. H is for Hanukkah, the festival of lights. A is for applesauce with latkes, a delight. N is for nace, which is the miracle we observe. U is for the undeniable triumph that occurred. K is for kids spinning dreidels every night. K, yes, there's 2 Ks in the Hebrew. Come on, let's get it right. A is for the atmosphere of every menorah's glow. And H is for the holiday that is 8 nights in a row.
No matter how you celebrate or how crazy it could get, there's holiday joy and love and find in every alphabet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dears! Oh my God. That's awesome. Thank you. And I just want to say, Eve stepped in tonight just to do this tonight because we lost that. That's fantastic. So give her a hand. Got the standbys and the subs, right? They're amazing. The 1960s. Now, of course, I have a magazine from the 1960s, and it is the Better Homes and Gardens, the Bible of the American Housewife. And, you know, they were very woke. Good word. They were very woke even back then. This is from, this is the Christmas Ideas for 1964. It says right here, create seasonal and enchantment and gay parties. Honey, you're at the gayest party in New York right now. I'm just saying. They knew. They were pushing their agenda on us. They were unbelievable. So the 1960s was a big time. You know, one of my favorite movies of all time, Santa versus the Martians. Santa conquers the Martians. Oh my God, it's like the most ridiculous movie of all time. It's P as Adora as a little child, like painted green with antennas. It's just, it has to be seen to be believed. Believe me. You've got to see it. I think it's available on DVD or YouTube, I'm sure, on the socials. But on television, now the TV specials are all on TV. You know, Taffy would make dinner and we'd all get our TV trays and we would go sit in the living room and we would have our TV dinners. Taffy loved sort of the science of, you know, the new science, like boil and bag vegetables. I grew up thinking broccoli grew with a cream sauce. I don't know, it was always in the bag together, and that's what we ate. I never knew. I thought vegetables grew, and when you cooked them, they had a cream sauce. Little did I know. But she loved it, and she loved TV dinners. Remember the ones with the little dessert? You got the dessert, it was very fancy, very fancy. And we would watch all the great TV specials, Andy Williams and Bing Crosby, and they were so great. But there was one animated TV special that was beyond everything, and that was the one and only Charlie Brown Christmas. So I was a huge Peanuts fan, Charles Schulz, and I have a little relationship with him, I'm gonna tell you. So when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an artist. I drew all the time. I wanted to go to Pratt Institute. I just knew I wanted to be an artist. And my parents say, now, Ray, you should go be a lawyer. Yeah, a lawyer, sure. You wanna be a lawyer or you wanna be a businessman? Because artists they can't pay your bills. It's hard to do. So go get it and then do it on the side. Well, I really wanted to be an artist, so in one of my books, it said that Charles Schulz lived in like Sebastopol, California. So I wrote him a letter to Charles Schulz, Sebastopol, California, and he got it. And he wrote me back, not once, but 7 times. Handwritten letters with little Snoopies, I still have them. And in one of the letters, he said, show this to your parents because I'm here to tell you that I didn't do so bad as an artist. Taffy and Duke weren't so pleased by that one. Yeah, it was great. And then so many years later when I thought I was a big shot because I got to work for Disney for 5 years. I had made it, folks. I was a professional in my business. And I wrote him a letter and I said, look, I know you don't remember me. You probably get thousands of letters, but you inspired me to stay true to who I was, to be authentic and become an artist. And I may not be a drawing artist, but I'm a performing artist. And now it's 42 years later. I'm still doing it full time, right? I mean, not here, lucky. I had good training. And he wrote me back and said, of course I remember you. And in the envelope was an animation cell from your good man, Charlie Brown, signed by him that said, to Ray, with friendship forever, Sparky, which is what his friends called him, right? And it's on my wall. I couldn't believe it. It's so special. And I have to say, you know, folks, we live in interesting times, but sometimes those little ripples of kindness can really go a long way. And I'm telling you, he inspired a little scared little boy to be who he is today. And here I am. It's all your fault, Charles. But the music was the Vince Guaraldi wrote the music. His trio played the music. It introduced jazz music to people who would have never experienced it. It became a huge hit. So when they cast it, they wanted to have kids actually play the kids. They didn't want adults sounding like kids. So they went up, they had to sing, you know, a little bit of song. And so they went up to St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Northern California. They paid the kids $5 each to record that song that they use in it. And when they got back, they realized all the takes, the kids were off. And if you listen, it's off. It's definitely off. They're a little sharp, they're a little flat, but they decided to keep it because they said kids would not sound perfect. They would be kids, it doesn't matter, they're just singing and having a great time. And he was right, it really works. So sometimes perfection isn't the best way, right? Yes. So that music is in the Library of Congress, it's in the National Recording Registry, it's in the Grammy Hall of Fame. And please welcome, once again, our fabulous orchestra saluting Charlie Brown Christmas. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the years. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful orchestra. That's so nice. I love this. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, hopefully I did it justice. Okay, the 1970s, folks. Oh, but wait, I wanted to show you this. I still actually have my Charlie Brown Christmas album from a kid. And I love this. This was actually put out by Disney Records. And look, it's one of those storybook ones. Look, you could look, it had the original illustrations and it had the script and you would play the record and follow. I loved these. I had Babes in Toyland and A Charlie Brown Christmas. Oh, I love this. I still play it on my Victrola. Yeah. Oh, someone knew what a Victrola was. Yeah, well, just admitted your age. All right, so the 1970s. Oh, the 1970s were crazy. Now, obviously the bicentennial, right? That was during the 70s. And, you know, in our household, that meant one thing. Taffy goes colonial. It was out with the beautiful mid-century modern. And remember Tupperware parties? Okay, Taffy had colonial parties. And this woman would come in with faux colonial beat-up wood and slate with like Minutemen carved in it and like all this wood stuff. And these women would all buy it. And let me tell you, everyone in our neighborhood suddenly had a fake fireplace with the rolling, you remember the rolling with the tin foil and the bulb and it would make noise? They all had this fake colonial fireplace and a spinning wheel. It was the craziest thing. And I was like, but it's fake. No, it's colonial, Ray. It's the bicentennial. We're saluting our heritage. Okay, I don't know if Paul Revere had a spinning wheel and a fake fireplace, but okay, Taff, you go, girl. Yeah. But it was, now let me tell you something. There was a TV special that is probably the most infamous of Christmas TV specials ever made. And the reviews were, how would I say, special. And I'm going to read them to you because I don't want to miss a word here. Okay. It aired on November 17th, 1978. It was called Bubblegum for the Brain. The worst 2 hours of television ever. And this is my favorite. I'm not convinced the special wasn't ultimately written and directed by a sentient bag of cocaine. That was the Star Wars Christmas special. Darlings, that was so terrible that the stars of Star Wars were on talk shows. It only showed once. Remember, there was no VHS, you couldn't record. So there was no proof. And they refused to admit they even did it. They were like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Now, maybe they didn't, because maybe that sentient bag of cocaine was passed around. Who knows, right? But they refused. But now we have YouTube. And it's there. And it's terrible. But that means we're going to sing from it. So now we salute the 1970s with Princess Leia's Life Day Song. We celebrate the day of peace, a day of harmony, a day of joy we too can share together joyously. A day that takes us through the darkness. A day that leads us to the right. A day that makes us want to celebrate the light. A day that brings the promise that one day we'll be free. To live, to laugh, to dream, to grow, to trust, to love, to be. Holy crap, that is terrible. A day of joy, so joyously. The best lyrics you can ever imagine. Wait a minute. That's so bad. I need another drink. Ah, it's really good. Did I knock this one over? No. Hi. Are you having a good time? I hope so. Because I took your money, so I hope you're having a good time. So the 1980s, now the 1980s, of course, there were lots of holiday movies. I don't have magazines from the 1980s. No, there were lots of holiday movies. I mean, it was a busy time. It was an ugly, leg warmers. Everyone in leg warmers, probably pink, scrunchy socks. I think that was a big 80s thing. But there was one beloved movie, a movie about a little boy in glasses in Ohio who got, with his friend who got his tongue stuck on a pole and a lamp made out of a leg. And it was the one and only A Christmas Story. Amazing movie, right? Yeah, it's great. But they made a Broadway musical out of it. It was very successful on Broadway. It tours all over now every holiday season. A friend of mine just did it upstate. And, well, it has some great music. Now, the music was by Pasek and Paul. So Pasek and Paul wrote the music for Greatest Showman and Dear Evan Hansen. Yeah, the musical about a lie. Yeah. Well, it is. He lies, and it becomes It's Okay, and it's a great musical. People love this. It's highly successful. I hate it. Yeah. That's okay. We all have our opinions. I didn't produce that one. But we have an amazing guest tonight who's going to sing a song. They did this musical version of it. It's fantastic. And where are they? Crystal Kellogg in the room. Broadway star. This is a Broadway star. Wait till you hear. Hi, Crystal. Look at you, so Christmassy.
Thank you.
How about snow or show?
How about snow?
Oh,
it
snow.
Should be how about show?
How about snow? I think they used all the snow up on the Star Wars special.
Or this tree.
Or this tree. Yeah, it's the beautiful tree. Yes. How are you, darling?
I'm great. How are you?
Big Broadway star, many Broadway shows. Just finished a big run of Belle in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, I did.
She's amazing. What are the holidays like for you?
So my family, we don't get together a lot, every year anyway. But when we do, we like to do all the very Christmassy things, but then we also like to pull pranks on each other, as every family does. Right?
Well, we all do.
Yeah, we all do that. You don't do that? It's just us.
Who doesn't do that?
Alan
Come
and
on. Yes, I love pranks.
It's Christmas. Come on. Anyway, one of my favorite things that my mom would do for us when we were kids is the stocking. So stockings were always my favorite thing. She would always put the same things in there every year. So it was the Lifesaver storybooks, and yes, and the like 5-pack of extra gum and things like that. But always at the bottom of it was an apple and an orange. Sensible. So
very sensible.
Yeah. So
Fiber.
Yes. So one year we decided to pay our mom back
and we gave her a huge stocking, and we put broccoli in it, and probably some deli ham, anything you could find in the fridge,
Very
really.
nice.
And then at the bottom was a bag of apples and a bag of oranges. So
Oh, wow. That's a prank.
it was. She,
Now,
she laughed.
Yes. Now, my mom used to give us a tangerine because she said during the hard times and they couldn't afford stuff, a tangerine was very, like, you couldn't get them and they were expensive. So if you got a tangerine, well, that was it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so
I
we
like
used to
that.
get a tangerine.
I'm going to request that now.
Yeah,
actually.
we're all gonna get tangerines. But ladies and gentlemen, wait till you hear us sing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Crystal Kellogg.
Snow is falling, bells are ringing, hear 'em calling, the choir singing, fresh baked cookies and knitted gloves. These are the reasons everybody loves to feel like a kid at Christmas. Wait up for old Saint Nick. Feel like a kid at Christmas. Just a snowman and a carrot stick will make you feel like a kid at Christmas. Fill up on Yuletide cheer. We're all kids at Christmas. Favorite time of year. Favorite time of year. Feel so jolly, fires glowing. Smell the holly as it keeps on snowing. Made some milk and turtle doves. The reason for the season when everybody loves to feel like a kid at Christmas. Wait up for old Saint Nick. Feel like a kid at Christmas. Just a snowman and a carrot stick. We'll make you feel like a kid at Christmas. Fill up on Yuletide cheer. We're all kids at Christmas. Favorite time of year. Favorite time of year. Favorite time of year.
Wow, Crystal Kellogg! Belt it out, baby! That's a Broadway baby. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Wow! Woo, Crystal Kellogg. Damn, I better get back in my voice lessons. Oh my God. So the 1990s, we're zooming right ahead. So the 1990s were interesting. There was a very special woman who now crowned herself the Queen of Christmas. And she proved that you can write a new song, it could be a huge hit. It's called Mariah Carey, right? Yes. And don't worry, we are not singing that song. I'm leaving the whistle tones to Mariah. Woo-woo! Yeah, I can't do it. No, she's got that whistle tone down pat. She's fantastic. And of course, Nintendo was big. Remember Beanie Babies? People were online thinking they were going to make millions off a Beanie Baby. Now you can buy them at CVS for like $1. They had thousands of Beanie Babies. It was crazy. They would kill each other. Of course, Oprah just bought her $1 million diamonds, I think. That's what she did during this time, right? Don't you love Oprah? Yeah, 2 people said, I love Oprah, though. She's the new Maya Angelou. She's like, darling, you have to feel yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to look for, oh, are my diamonds there? Yeah, my diamonds. I'm just like you, darling. I'm just like you. My diamonds were 10 million, but I'm just like you. Okay, honey, yeah. These are not 10 million, by the way. They're not. I know they look it. They're absolutely gorgeous. But it was a great time, and there was one movie about Christmas that actually starred a pumpkin. Yeah, it was Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. It was kind of successful, but has become a cult favorite. Plays every holiday at Disney. They decorate half the park and this kind of stuff. It's like crazy. But the music is by Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman, and it's fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, the orchestra is going to give us a taste of the 1990s with Nightmare Before Christmas. Wow, that's great. What's this? What's this? There's heaven in the air. What's this? So great. I love that movie. It's a little freaky, but it's good. I like it. 2000s. Oh, the 2000s. This was the time of the Hallmark movie. So many, they have their own channel now, 24/7. Now, I love these Hallmark movies. Now, my husband loves these. My husband, Jimmy, he has to watch all these movies, but they crack me up. Because what do they teach us, darling? They teach us the lesson. Don't ever go to the big city. Stay home. Marry your high school sweetheart. Save the inn. Open a toy store. All while being filmed in a winter village with the LA hills behind. It's fan-friggin-tastic. Oh my God. They're all the same. Of course, now they have, same-sex couples. It's highly, it's crazy. But they still have the LA hills in the background, so we're safe. Thank God. Oh, yeah. So then there was this movie. It was called, it was a movie that they did with all digital capture, which now they use for these new movies that it's, all the superhero movies. They film you as a human, but they turn you into a digital character. And there was this movie called Polar Express. Remember this movie? It's an amazing book, by the way, by Chris Allberg, which the book is really great. The movie's a little weird. I mean, they did turn Oprah again, a little Oprah. They filmed Oprah and turned her into like a 6-year-old. But her face is still Oprah. And she's still wearing the diamond earrings. For God's sakes. I'm just like you, Santa. Do you like my earrings? Yes. It's so bizarre. But the weirdest thing about the movie is that in the North Pole, there's all these elves, but they all look and sound like they came from Canarsie Street in Brooklyn. It's so weird. It's just the weirdest thing you've ever seen. But the music by Alan Silvestri in this movie, it's Alan Silvestri and Glenn Ballard, I think. Glenn Ballard and Alan Silvestri wrote the music, and there is the most beautiful song, and I want to introduce someone very special. She's been in many of my shows. She's an amazing singer and writer, songwriter. She's an award-winning performer. Please welcome Meg Flather. Where's my Meggie? Meg, stop talking and get up on stage, darling. Hi, Meg, get on stage, honey. You can meet them later.
Yes,
Hi.
Doris. Yes,
Hi,
Doris.
darling. How are
Hi.
you?
Great show.
Is it a good show?
Great show.
Yeah. It's good because of all these amazing guests. I'm just making it up as I go along.
You are the glue, baby.
Oh, I'm the glue. I'm the super glue you can't get rid of. So how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's a tricky time of year.
It's a tricky time of year, but tell me about Christmas. Now, we both lost our moms to Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Which, thank you for supporting by buying the pins, and all the proceeds go to Alzheimer's. So thank you, everybody who has partaken in that. So tell me about the holidays and sort of what it means to you at this point.
Well, Becky.
Your mom.
My mom. Becky did everything. And Becky was one of the top New York midwives. She delivered 6,000 babies in the poorest hospitals of New York. She was a fierce women's health rights champion. And when she wasn't doing that, she was studying at night because her father did not let her go to college. But she showed him. So she would work all day, run all these clinics, and then she would produce Christmas. The stockings, the perfectly wrapped gifts, love Santa with her perfect penmanship. And then the turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the green bean casserole with the little crunchy onions on top.
I love it.
And then she'd mop the floor when we were all gone and do it all again the next day.
I'm mopping the floors later.
Of course you will.
I know. So you're going to sing. This is such a beautiful song. And Meg, you know I love you.
I love you.
You're holiday magic.
Aw.
So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
Oh.
Get out the tissues.
Oh, Lord.
Because this is Meg Flather singing Believe.
Oh. Well, if any of you are struggling this time of year, missing the people that made it so magical, I know I am. This might help. Children sleeping, snow is softly falling, dreams are calling. to get where they need to be. When it seems that we have lost our way, we find ourselves again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying, hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste, there's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside, give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just when you just believe. Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Meg Flather! Wow. So beautiful. So, thank you, Meg. That's beautiful. Woo, boy. You know, I miss my family every day, but they made me who I am. There it is. All right, the 2010s. Now, the 2010s was an interesting time. There's always lots of Christmas music. It's okay. But there was an album recorded in the late 70s, the Carpenters' Christmas album, right? Everybody knows this album, but it didn't do well. It didn't even top the top 300 when it was released. It wasn't a huge success. But then in the 2010s, during this decade, it got rediscovered. It started climbing the charts. It went top 300, top 200, top 100. It is now the 23rd best-selling holiday album of all time. Imagine, I mean, like it just got rediscovered. And you know, I love, you know, Karen Carpenter, her voice. It's just so beautiful to listen to. And I thought, well, let's take this decade, let's celebrate the Carpenters. And I have an amazing guest who's going to help us do that. She's a Broadway star, a Tony Award, Olivier Award from the UK. She's a producer. She's an amazing human. Please welcome Jana Robbins into the Rumpus Room. Hello, Jana Robbins. Miss Mazeppa. Come on, baby. Ew. Yes. Wow. Look at you. Yes. Hello.
Look at you.
Well, I had to buy a lot of foam to get that shape. I'm telling you what. I waited 12 weeks from Wish.
Oh my God.
But there it is. You look amazing.
Thank you.
How are you,
Thank you.
darling?
I am really good, and I am so very happy to be here with you.
Oh, honey, you know I love you. Now,
my
Jana, you know
goodness.
I have a series on Broadway on Demand. You can watch it. Doris Dear's Girl Talk, and I interview amazing artists. And Jana came on,
you.
and we really connected, and we talked about someone very special in your life.
Well, we did, and you've given me such a gift here tonight. I didn't realize that you had lost your mom, and then to have Meg talk about her mom and sing to her. I just lost my mother October 24th. She was the...
She's a great lady.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. She was a bright light. She supported my dreams. And
She lived a great life.
well, I hope so.
You took care of her.
I took care of her. She lived with me the last 6 years.
Yeah, and she was 100?
She was 100.
100.
She made her New York cabaret debut, I won't tell you, on a very big birthday of mine. But she was, at the time, she was 85. And then on an even bigger birthday of mine, she sang with me when she was 95.
Wow. That's a lady.
That's a lady.
awesome.
And this is a sign.
Yes,
This
it
is really a sign.
This is.
Thank you for having me.
I love
here.
you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage this amazing human being, Jana Robbins, singing Winter Wonderland, saluting the Carpenters.
the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we sit by the fire. Afraid to don't fade the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Yes, in the meadow we can build that snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman till the other kiddies knock him down. When it snows, it is thrilling, but your nose gets a chillin'. We'll frolic and play the Eskimo way.
Amazing Jana Robbins. Thank you. You are going. Watch yourself going down. Look at that gown. My goodness. You could do West Side Story in that. Woo! That was amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end. I know you're sad. I know. One person said no. I love you too. Did you have a good time tonight? Thank you. I want to thank the Triad Theater. It's my 7th year here. I'm part of their family. They're part of mine. They're the best. JP on lights and sound. Yes, John is upstairs. We're recording tonight. If you enjoyed, we're going to be streaming on Broadway on Demand starting the 23rd for about 10 days. So the show will be on there. I want to thank this amazing orchestra behind me. Oh, they're so great. Of course, all my amazing, wonderful, talented artists that came on the stage. I am so honored that they want to be a part of my show. These are, please look them up on that program. Connect to them, follow them. They are all wonderful human beings, amazing artists. I want to thank my husband because he listens to all the crazy voices in my head. And still smiles and still makes me the occasional breakfast. Yeah. Please take care of your waiters. Please tip them. They're working hard. Most of them are artists themselves trying to make a living and live in New York City, the best city in the world. And of course, I want to thank Tappy and Duke and Nancy because they gave me my heart. They gave me my soul, and they made me who I am today. And there's nothing better than my family, so thank you. And I want to thank all of you for spending your money, spending your time. I don't have my family anymore, but I have you, my holiday family, when I do my shows, and it means so much to me. I can't even tell you. That's not a lie. That's the truth. It just means so much to me to have you here with me tonight. So thank you. Okay. Greeting cards have all been sent. The Christmas rush is through. I have just one wish to make. A special one to you. Merry Christmas, darlings. We're apart, it's true, but I can dream. In my dreams, I'm Christmasing. And in my dreams, I dream a lot. They always come true. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry. Woo! Now, I have to say, I know we said we weren't going to do it, but come on, it's Christmas. So we're going to sing the most recorded Christmas song in the world. Sing it with me as I leave. Here we go. Ready? I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops. You want to sing? No. And no way, I know how you sing. Listen to hear. I'm not letting you sing. You're not singing. Angela. No. Come on, sing out loud. I'm dreaming. How about the Dears? White Christmas. With every Christmas card I write. Hello. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases, hit the note, be